Milan FinTech Summit 2024, Allianz MiCo, Milan, 2 days of work to talk about the future of FinTech and the innovation in the financial and banking services. In this moment, we are together with Mathias Wikström, who is CEO and co-founder at Doconomy. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Matthias, today with you, we want to better understand how is it possible to engage banking institutions and also their relationship with the customers and the new challengers in terms of startups and other kind of new businesses. So, according to you, in an hyper digitization world like that of the fintech one, how is possible to do it in the right way?
So thank you very much for that question. I think it's one of the most important questions to the financial services industry to answer to. How can we future-proof ourselves? How can we bring relevance into the mix? And how do we act in a way that brings a high level of engagement from our users? So if we're looking at that from a problem-solving perspective, I think that what we are facing today as a planet is something that engages a lot of people to a great extent. We see 92% of the people in the world are concerned in regards to the climate crisis. We also see in Europe 16.5% of daily people think that the leadership is stepping up to this challenge, which leaves a massive delta, right? That delta could be tackled as an opportunity for financial institutions to drive engagement with their end clients in retail banking. That opportunity quantified calls for a higher level of digitalization, higher level of engagement, higher level of empowerment, starting at financial inclusion, building the way up to financial well-being, and enabling repeated climate action, which is almost like a second language in every transaction, not only calculating the euro spent, but also the damage done in regards to your CO2 emission scoring through the Olan index.
Under this point of view, you talk about the financial inclusion and also the leadership. There are two topics that also in this edition of Milan FinTech Summit are so important. We have a lot of panels about this, but what does it mean, according to you, to focus on these two topics, how much they are important for the growth of fintech industry in general, and also for the financial approach of customers and challengers?
Yeah, so I think that firstly, being here in Milan is amazing. Milan, out of a fintech perspective, is like the Silicon Valley of Europe. There's so much going on. No, but it's amazing. You know, I love it, and there is so many Italian banks that are eager to engage with fintechs, right? And I think there is for a reason. So fintechs can be the pathfinders. It can be the mavericks that go where the banks or the financial institutions are not yet ready to go, but they see there is lucrative horizons where they could actually future-proof themselves by interacting with fintechs. And what I think we've seen here in Milan as well is the local commitment in regards of funding, looking at what CDP is doing, looking at Alessandro from JP Morgan coming on stage, having the conversations out of a VC perspective, saying, bring us the ideas, bring us the crazy entrepreneurs, bring us the mavericks that wants to get stuff done into Milan, and we will make sure you get funding to do it. And I think that is future-proofing banking in Italy. Italy is a little bit late to the party out of a digitalization perspective, looking at digitalization of transactions compared to early movers like Iceland, Finland, like Sweden, that for years have been very high level of digitalization. But they're playing catch up in an amazingly well way, looking at startups coming out of Italy like A-World, working with FinDomestic together with us, for example, very credibly driving change together with the World Bank and the UN, and together with financial institutions, making financial institutions more relevant for engagement than they are today.
According to this, talking about leadership and inclusion, this year we have also a good, we can say, a good note, a good notice, or a good news, because we have more and more women who are appointing as a CEO or founder or president of institutions, and this is we think it's a very good news, because when women come in the market grow, and maybe also grow in a better way. Do you think that is a good vision in this sense, or maybe we needed to have more uh, the roadmap, the way is still long?
Thank you for raising this point. I think it's extremely important. So looking at, some say the future is female, right? Looking at what the history has brought us to today, we can surely say that if the future is male, we're in deep shit. So I think you're raising an extremely good point. Enough of the boy bands, enough of the boy clubs. We need to progress at full capacity. We need everyone's effort, everyone's brains, everyone's commitment to get this done. And I'm very happy to see that's happening in Italy. I'm very happy to see that in other parts of the world, but it's taking too long time. So there is one initiative that we are at Doconomy are engaged with. It's called FinEarth, which is an award lifting women in climate and finance, both in financial services and startups, that are doing the heavy lifting to resolve the climate crisis, to get everyone on board, to progress at full capacity. So check that out. FinEarth are looking for nominations for that. So if you have any woman that you are impressed by, anyone that's doing the heavy lifting, everyone that is going to get shit done, you should nominate them for that award.
And according to this, October usually in Italy, but also at European level, is the month of financial education. And so, when you want to engage people, institutions, companies, professionals, the education is one of the most important point to focus on. And so, according to you, what could be the most important pillars also to advise to companies and professionals in order to have the good approach to learn more and more about fintech and innovation in financial and banking services?
Yes, I think there is three pillars if we are to be a little bit academic on, what is important. So enablement is extremely important out of a financial inclusion perspective, having direct and safe access to relevant and timely financial products and services. We see engagement in making these services relevant to your daily life and relevant the context that you are in out of a technical platform perspective. And then we have empowerment, looking to build people's opportunity to step in, to take greater control of their own financial well-being, and with a greater sense of control, also being able to take repeated climate action time after time. This is not isolated topics. Education will bring both financial inclusion and climate action front and center. So what we need to look at this as is a holistic view on how do we succeed together? How do we educate together? How do we use fintechs to educate the market in order for them to understand why banking services are relevant? The trusted financial institutions of today will definitely be there to accelerate the climate fintechs and the traditional fintechs of tomorrow. So I love the question, and I think that education is front and center of everything we need to see done.
So, according to you, the fintech could be the real enabler of also of sustainability, for example.
We already are. We already are.
We try to. So, thank you for being with us and for your
Thank you very
spotlight
much.
on this.
Thank you.